This week, we're asking if we're getting too old for gaming, reviewing Resident Evil Requiem, training Pokémon Masters, and discussing Highguard's closure. Plus, we're naming the game that aged like fine wine in this week's Pixel Picks Showdown. All this and more on this week's Pixel Parents Podcast. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Pixel Parents Podcast, the show that discusses all things gaming from the perspective of parents. I am your host, Liam Kirkkelvin, and today I'm of course joined by the bearded one, Scott, the OG tastemaker, Curry. How are we, Scott?
We're slowly reclaiming this moniker back, Liam.
Yeah,
fucking one way or another, I'm going to be clawing that motherfucker back. I'm actually pretty good. I've had a strangely pleasant day, which started at 4 o'clock this morning and continues
Lovely
into the wee hours of this evening. But it's been good. Played some video games. I've completed some video games, and
nice.
The future is looking bright on my end. On the other hand, Liam, there's a lot of fucking bleak news out there, man. A lot of fucking hard truths and pain out there. So I just hope all of our legions of followers and fans, past, present, and in the future, if you're listening to this, I hope you're doing well. I hope petrol prices are fucking normal for you whenever you're listening to this. If this is, Fallout Future 2077, where petrol prices are £14 a gallon, then, message me and let me know how you're getting on.
Yeah. I have a solution for it though, right? And it's not what you think, right? Get that out your head, everybody. It's not what you think, right? Put down the crosshairs. But why don't all this offset rises, we foot the bill at the billionaires? Who do that? But why don't we do it to the guy that started all this?
Starting it, aye. Whoever smelt it, dealt it, mate.
Exactly.
Wank.
Yeah. But I'm with you. I hope everybody's all right. And don't panic buy. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Just don't panic.
Unless it's a Steam Deck, then fucking panic buy that immediately.
Oh, yeah. Panic buy the stuff that doesn't matter. Yeah. Don't panic buy petrol. You don't want to be that guy or girl just sitting in the car. Just don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah, it kind of puts things in perspective a wee bit, I suppose. But we're here to talk shite because I think we need a distraction more than ever. And I am trying really hard this week to stay on it, Scott. But I'm angry. I'm just angry at things. That's all it is. That's how I am this week. Just very, very angry. I'm a grumpy old fart this week. That's
gosh.
it. And that's, I suppose some people would say, that's that not you every week? Yeah, I suppose it is. But bar that, there's been plenty of distraction opportunity out there. There's been some lovely distraction opportunity out there, actually, when it comes to video games. So you take the rough with the smooth, and yeah, just trying to bury my head in the old sand there because it's fuck all that I can do about it. So might as well just distract myself and be happy. But yeah, we've actually got a shit ton to talk about this week, all things considered. You mentioned the review.
I wish people would fucking just slow down. I mean,
they're going to be saying that listening to this show, man, because we've got new games, we've got new games reviewed, we've got games that aren't even out yet, we've got games that aren't going to be here for much longer, on top of a very, very interesting main topic, which all ties together in a nice wee bow. But aye, it's a big one. So I'm just going to get some housekeeping out the road. So if you're old, if you're new, you should know then that this is the Pixel Parents Podcast, which is a weekly gaming show by parents discussing all things gaming whilst raising little ones. You can get new episodes every Friday on YouTube, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So please subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss our tired faces. And also find us on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social when it works, or email us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. And of course, you can support the show for free at patreon.com/pixelparents. Bonus shows, community chats. It'll cost you £0 all the time. We'll have a new episode of the patch notes going up sometime this month as well. And if you can, just drop us a wee 5-star review, share the podcast online with your friends. Whatever you're doing, it does make a massive difference. It helps us out. So thank you to everybody that joins us each and every week. So with all that out the way, Scott, be honest, did you plan to spend this much time with Pokemon this week?
I mean, with the little that I played it, yeah, to be honest with you. Considering what else is out there, but if you'd have told me a month ago I'd have been playing any Pokemon game this week, I'd have been very confused. But I've been quite pleased with my time with it. I think you have a lot more to say about Pokemon and life with it. But Fire Red was bought, Bulbasaur was picked, and my daughter has conquered the Viridian Forest.
Nice.
Caught her Pikachu on her way there and immediately walked up to Brock's gym and just like fucking sauntered right in. No bother at all. Beat the first guy, and then she just looked at Brock and she's like, Daddy, I don't want to do this. And it's sat in the dock. The Switch 2 has just sat there the whole time since. I don't want to touch it. This is her playthrough. I've beaten Brock with him. I've beaten Brock 1,000 times. You know what I mean? So
he's chatting shit.
He's chatting shit. He's going to get banged soon, but I'm letting her do the hard work. So she was grinding fucking Caterpies in the Viridian Forest like nobody's business. And she'll get there. She'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, I too have been doing it. Pokemon Fire Red has been a headline event here. We're looking forward to it all last week. So when we recorded last week's episode, that was the cherry. That was a carrot and the sticks, did I say? It's like, listen, have a good week at school. And we've got Pokemon Fire Red, and that's the game that your old dad played. Wasn't really, because I played the OG, no big deal. But I was like, that's the game. Only 151 Pokemon. They're all good. It's before they added the shite ones. So it's like
a whole fucking alphabet of Pokemon, Liam.
Exactly, indeed. And I was like, right, going to sit down, going to play it, and it's just been magical. Just going back and introducing him to this. My daughter's been watching as well, but again, she's not really the gamer in the house, but been playing it with my son. He picked Charmander, the correct choice, connoisseur's choice, but I forgot how hard it is for new trainers this way. So I've opted to support him and do the grind in between the trainer battle patches, I suppose. So he likes to do all the Pokemon battles, but he's still understanding the concept of grinding, battling. He likes to explore and catch them, but the actual grind where you're sitting there, like he says, you're in Viridian Forest. I was sitting there one night with a Pikachu. It was like level fucking 16 or something like that. I'm just fighting like level 2s constantly, but it did manage to get the first 2 badges on his own. So he went up, they beat Brock, and he was quite happy with that. And it's a solid fight when you've got a Charmander and a Pikachu in your party, and then all you've got is like a Weedle and a Caterpie that training that. You got that. But then we start to catch more and train them up. So we've now got like a Pidgeotto in the party, a Geodude. We've got an Oddish that is quite clutch, if I'm honest. So we're all the way through to Vermilion City. And I found it's been a brilliant way for him to kind of beat the boss anxiety that he's been experiencing lately. We did also mention we caught the Pikachu in Viridian Forest that release night. Even my wife was buzzing for this because I was like, there's a 5% chance of getting this, and managed to get it. But I would say there is a lot of reading. So it is good to co-pilot, even for a primary one that is quite good at reading. That's quite a lot in that Game Boy font. And there's a lot of words that I didn't realise that, you kind of take for granted. When you're learning how to read, I'm like, what do you mean? You don't just know everything. There's still certain words and ways that we put words together. But it's basically been a fantastic time. And off the back, we were pleased to hear he's now going and watching the OG anime. So
that's what you want to hear.
And do the perfect thing, Scott. We'll go to Viridian City of Vermilion City, sorry. And it was that episode that was on where Ash goes to fight LT Surge, Lieutenant Surge, whatever we would do it. But he got it. I was like, this is the bit of the fucking game. This is where you're at. He's like, all right. And it's the first time he's actually able. He's watched Pokemon before and he's enjoyed it, but because it's so sparse, it's like, oh, look at me, Binmon, and all the rest of it. It's like, oh, what the hell's that? There's no substance to it. Whereas there was a magic in that. And yes, I'm being completely biased, right? But there was a magic because it's got a certain layer of shit over it and a certain layer of cheese, and that polish wasn't there. And, yes, it was a wee bit chin Pokemon as well, but, it's fantastic. But here I am, absolutely now buzzing for the next chapter on this, because we're going to keep this up. But Pokemon Pocopia will be out when this episode goes live, or if you had ordered it physically, you might have it in your hands before it went live. But that's next on the list, and I think that is going to be perfect for current generation tendencies. Like 3D stuff and cozy gaming, Minecraft exposure, all that type of stuff, Animal Crossing, however you want to put it. I'm really looking forward to that, but I'm also a little bit like, because this is over the past few days, a lot has changed because he's just getting more and more into playing Fire Red. So I'm thinking, do I just kind of go ahead with the Pokemon Pocopia and then just let him play Fire Red? I'm not sure yet, but I think it's a game that we'll both be playing. I think Pokemon is definitely growing in this house, which is great. Been a great start to the week.
You could say the love for it has evolved. Eh?
It has indeed. Yes, very dull.
It's grown arms and legs.
I love that.
Like every Pokemon. I mean, with Pocopia, my 2 cents on it are that, why rush? Like, you run the risk of overexposure at that point and distraction from Fire Red. So let him play that. I don't even think you'll play it, Liam. I don't even think you'll play Pocopia. I think you're best just waiting until, I was going to say wait till it drops in price, but it's a Switch game, so of course it won't. So
I've
buy it now.
I've already got it. It's there. It's downloaded digital. Managed to get it in a pre-order, so it came with like this mad Ditto cup. I don't know why I nearly said dildo there.
a dildo cup.
But it's basically, it's there, it's ready to go. He knows it's coming because he can see it in the dock. You know what I mean? But we'll sit down and do it. Something else to kind of look forward to. I'm enjoying that. It's like, you forget how crap you are at games when you're younger. Like, I think we take that for granted. Like, we almost expect them to sometimes I do expect them to kind of just fire through it the way that we would sit down and play a game, but they navigate it so differently. And you've just got to take your time with them. And effectively, my son, he was like very happy. I'll go back and do that later. I had to cut my son's name out there. But he was very happy to watch me play, which is something that I also do enjoy. Like, if we were sitting together back in the day, I'd quite happily sit and watch you play something.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been like that. But yeah, it's a way that they kind of go back and experience things, I suppose. But it's not all been cutesy stuff this week, Scott. Which leads me on to the next thing here, because I know we've spent a lot of time on Pokemon here, right? But there's a main event that's happened over the past week, Scott. One of the highest rated games of the year so far, if not ever. And that's a little game, Scott, that, why don't you take it away, that you've now beaten?
Liam, I'm going to start this whole spiel off by just saying this, right? If this game is not my game of the year for this year, I don't know what will be. This game is an immediate 10 out of 10 on the Scott Curry scale. On the Pixel Parent scale, it is an absolute masterpiece.
First 10 of the year.
I knew from the moment I turned that game on, dodged a guy from the back and shot him in the fucking head, and I was like, mate, this is just... this is incredible. Like, the game is doing more with Leon than I've ever seen from Resident Evil in the past. Then, you obviously factor in the stuff from Grace. So Resident Evil 9 Requiem is what we're talking about, obviously. You play as dual protagonists, Grace Ashcroft and Leon Sexual Chocolate Kennedy. That's what the S stands for. And basically you have to uncover the secrets behind such and such, redacted if you're going to go and play it. I'm sure though. Umbrella have something to say here. And, all the trailers have pointed to Raccoon City. You venture back there. You do go back to the RPD building and stuff as well, but that's not where it throws you in. It throws you in further back and stuff. And it's just, you start off with Grace and you basically, you're looking at the scenes of sort of they're calling it sort of like murders and things or deaths. So Grace works for the FBI, and she's checking out suspicious deaths that are linked to T virus, like the T virus exposure from the past in RPD and Raccoon City. Sorry, so she's checking all that out, and then everything just fucking falls on its ass from there.
Yeah.
And then Leon comes in and saves the day, obviously. But it's just minute to minute. You don't have a fucking second to think. Like, the problem with Resident Evil games in the past is that you have those lulls in the gameplay where you're playing it for so long and you're just like, right, trudging through. Resident Evil 7, 6. Nah. Which one was Ethan? Which 7. One was the fucking? I was 7. So you've obviously got him with the Bakers. The opening of the Resident Evil 7 is phenomenal. Like, that whole bit with the Baker family is just incredible. But then after that, it's like the slow trudge downwards. Resident Evil games always suffer from third act syndrome as well, because the third act is always fucking terrible. But this game just, at lightning fucking pace, it's just like bang, 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 and it always delivers. Like, so the way that the game sort of works is it's a game of like two halves. Where the first half of it, you basically split chapter to chapter. So if you think about it in terms of like an episode of True Detective, right? You might have an episode with Rusty or Rust, whatever his name was, and then the other one, is it Cole? Am I getting that right? Woody Harrelson's character.
Oh, right, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, Rust and Cole. Yeah.
So like basically, Grace is Rust, and it's basically like you can play that, and it tells you the story from her point of view. It tells you where you are, tells you what time it is and stuff, and then it'll cut to Leon. He's fucking cool and he does all his shit. But the first thing you see is, do you want to play Grace's parts in first person or in third person? Yeah. I'm sure you can do it with Leon as well.
Oh, right, okay.
But why would you? Looking at that, man. But Grace is just like, the first person is clearly the option here, because it just elevates everything so much more. You're just constantly on edge about what's going to happen. She's obviously not as, technically able to deal with everything that's going on with the zombies. So, you'll shoot a zombie in the head, it'll become sort of thingy, and then you push them over and run. Like, that's your option. You basically, you can kill them, but you're wasting your ammo at that point. You might as well just push them over, get them out of the way, and then continue on. But it's just this constant build-up of tension to a point where you're just like, holy fuck, if it was a whole game of that, your arsehole would be fucking killing you, because you'd be like, honestly, so tense the whole time. But what it then does is that it brings you to a point, so like it'll take you up to the end of a Grace episode, for example, and then it'll basically cut to black, and then it'll just go to Leon, and that's your reward. You've got through the fucking tension of it, and then you walk through that same area and you're blasting every single person out of the way. It is fucking incredible. Like, Leon comes with all the bells and whistles. He's got the fucking melee kicks, he's got the fly kicks, he's got a drop kick at some point as well. He's also got a hatchet at the same time, so basically, instead of having to shoot zombies in the head about 400 times until they pop, if you manage to parry them with a hatchet, or you shoot them until they drop to their knees, you can scud them in the head with it, and that's an instant kill, and it feels great every fucking time you do it.
Nice.
You can throw. I praised Ghost of Yote before because you can throw weapons at people. You can do that in this as well. Kind of zombies have weapons of their own. They drop them and you can fucking launch them at people. Feels great every single time. But it does, like, remember when The Last of Us came out?
Yeah.
And we all praised it for when you would attack an enemy next to a wall, Joel would push them down and fucking scud them off, or like volley them in the face and stuff. It does that. Nice. But it does it all the time. Like, it's so natural. It feels so good. Like, if you try and shoot an enemy from close range, every so often Leon will just pick the gun up to their face and shoot them right in the head, and it just goes, and the blood just fucking explodes everywhere. But that's your reward for it, is that you spent so much time being nervous, is that when you go to Leon, it's just this power fantasy. It's just like you're fucking mowing everyone down, and it's amazing. Like, it's so fucking good. And And then as the game continues, so the first half is just this constant flip from Leon to Grace to Leon to Grace. And then the second half, I won't go too far into it, but it's obviously you go to the RPD building and stuff. And this is where Leon fucking shines. Do you know what I mean? Like, you basically take on the role of Leon, and you're investigating, like you would in like a Resident Evil 4. You're given an area, like a small open worldish area, and you can just explore that. It's got loads of puzzles. You're finding different items, but it's a big enclosed space, and it's brilliant. It's like a Dark Souls area. Do you know what I mean? Like there's constant paths around, and they all link together, and it all comes together and culminates so fucking brilliantly. And the game just, as I say, at breakneck speed, it just carries you down this fucking path, and it's just like, oh my god, and it just continues to deliver. It's like if I had to sum it up in a quick sentence, Liam, this is the Metal Gear Solid 4 of Resident Evil, right? Like this is Leon S. Kennedy's Metal Gear Solid 4,
right? Okay,
and it feels so fucking good every moment that you're playing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love Metal Gear Solid 4, so I'm always going to be fucking for this, but it is excellent. But like in a game where you have Leon, do you know what I mean? Like, you have Leon older, gruffer, fucking better looking than ever. That man has a shirt that does not fit. But Grace doesn't fall by the wayside. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's equal parts as fucking brilliant in this. The character is amazing. The performance for her is incredible as well. Like, if she's not up there in Game Awards season, I don't know what people are doing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just an incredible performance. She's so good. And the bad guys in it, you've all seen the guy with the weird face, like the weird Splinter Cell thing. That's kind of Victor Gideon. He's brilliant in it as well. Yeah. Weird, creepy guy, which is cool. You've also got another baddie that, it's cool as fuck as well. There's a moment that he comes into it where you kind of see what he can do for the first time, and you're like, yeah, just everything just comes fucking flooding back. Like, if you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. There's just this moment where it's like, oh my god, like, how are they doing this? And this is the 9th installment of this fucking, like, this numbered franchise. You've obviously got spin-offs. This is the 9th game, and it's taken them 9 installments to make something this fucking like ridiculous. This is the best Resident Evil game in my history. Do you know what I mean? Wow. Like, Resident Evil 4 is great. It's a brilliant game, but I don't have that love for it in the past. I've played it recently, and it's a brilliant game. I do love Resident Evil 4, but this is like another level above it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the greatest hits of Resident Evil. It's just it plays the hits. It's like going to see the Eagles and they play all the songs you love. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, just fucking keep them coming. But this is the easiest 10 out of 10 I think I'll ever play. Wow. And I knew it from fucking minute one. Like, it's I want to go back and play it. It's the strangest thing. I've completed it, and I'm like, I could jump back in actually and go and do it again. So I'm like, I'll maybe go and try and get the platinum trophy for it. But it's just, it just delivers in fucking everything that it promised and more. I'm so glad that I missed all the hype cycle for it, because I missed all the trailers, so I wasn't aware of anything going into it, which really helped. There's loads of throwbacks to old Resident Evil games. So the fans of the series, evidently fucking love it, considering how well it's doing. I think they just announced that it sold 5 million copies or something as well. Right, so it's doing fucking numbers there as well. And
highest number of concurrents in Steam or something for the series as well.
It's like 300,000 or some shit like that. It's just like, wow. It's just, honestly, I don't think I have enough words to verbalize how good it is. Like, I played this whole game with a smile on my face, and it's legitimately one of the first Resident Evil games in many years to genuinely get a jump out of me. Like, all right, okay. To genuinely give me a fucking like a wee scare, and I'm like, oh, it's not a scary game, but there's just moments in it that give you a wee fright, and it's like, oh fuck. Right. But it is great, and shout out to the fucking PS5 Pro, because holy fucking tits, like
Is the pisser upgrade on that, or is that to come?
So I think that it's already there. Like, I think that there's. I wish there was something that would tell me that it was, even just like a toggle on it. When you look at all the stories online, it says that if you go into the video output settings on your PS5, that there's a PSSR option on there that you can flick on or flick off, and it's not there yet. But I think what they're saying is that Resident Evil 9 is the first game to be using it. So I think they're saying that they're using it now. But to be honest with you, if they were or if they weren't, who fucking knows? But this game is gorgeous. Like the ray tracing, the environments, the wetness of everything. It's just like, oh man,
the wetness of you seeing it,
the wetness of me, the wetness of everyone. Fucking hell, man. It's just honest to God, Liam. But I think that if you're an adult buying a PS5,
yeah.
You know, I'm not talking about Xbox because, you know, nobody's buying those consoles. And I can't recommend PCs because, you know, can you get the parts for it? But if you're buying a PS5, if you've got a Pro, if you've got the money to buy a Pro, buy Resident Evil 9 because it's a showcase for what that fucking thing can do. And I think that this is a necessary game to play for anyone. Like, I think anyone could find enjoyment in this. Even the fucking shitebags and the family, you know, they could still do it. I think that it's just incredible. It's so fucking good.
I'm absolutely buzzing for you because I know your love of Resi games and you're the Resident Brave person on the show. I'm the Resident Coward. All week, Scott has been trying really hard and through nothing but sheer enthusiasm. Didn't know what score he was going to give, but I suspect to be a good one. But he's been, you know, buzzing about this game all week, which I'm buzzing about for you. But he's been saying you need to play it, and I'm like, I can't. And I'm trying to describe the sensation to you via text message, but there's a good chance to now it's like I will physically freeze. It's just like I've always been the same. And there's actually fun enough. Resident Evil 2 was the game that kind of triggered me at that point, but the only Resident Evils I've ever managed to successfully play and beat was 4 and 5. And that's probably because they felt more like action games and it was a different time. Probably a bit braver as a teenager. But now it's like the fidelity and all the rest. But the odd thing is, and here's the kicker, I enjoy watching playthroughs of them. Like it's different. It's the agency of having it like you're in there in the palm of your hands, but I can watch it and I'm not like terrified by it. It's a strange phenomenon. I'm probably I know I'm not a phenomenon. I'm not alone in it. There will be other cowards out there. What's up? You know, there's a safe space here. But no, it does irritate myself because I know I'm like you're saying it's a 10. And I'm like, man, really wish I could play it, but I know I would buy it. I'd probably get about an hour or so into it, and I just couldn't get over it. I'd be crippled by it, you know, just by the fear. And yeah, it's a strange thing, but however, I'm just so glad that it's knocked out the park because you were very diligent in staying away from all that hype, and there was a lot of it. Thing is, though, Scott, do we have to give props what it's due now with Capcom? Like they've always been big players, but now are they just kind of in a stride, and we're not really recognising that?
I mean, I think they have been for a while. To be honest with you, I mean, I think if you know, ugly kids aside, if you put Dragon's Dogma in the bin where it fucking deserves to go, then you know Capcom have been on a fucking tear recently. Like it's incredible stuff, and their stock continues to rise. I've loved Capcom for forever, man. Like you know me, I just want to see the future of like games like fucking, you know, Devil May Cry and all that pish now, and what happens with that next. It's a terrible thing as well. Like, as gamers, we're so impatient because I'm like, when's the next Resident Evil now? Like, when's the next one? Obviously, they're talking about remaking Code Veronica and stuff as well, so that should hopefully be fairly soon. But it's just, you know, it's just reignited a fire for Resident Evil in my bones, which might mean that I go back and finish Resident Evil 4 for the first time in fucking years. I do want to go back and play the first one because I've not played that in ages as well. And there's a small part of me that, you know, morbid curiosity with Resident Evil 6. I know people fucking hate that game. Or is it? Yeah, Resident Evil 6.
6 is the one.
People fucking hate it, but I'm willing to give it a wee go.
I think you should, but strike while the iron's hot. Strike while the iron's hot, Scott, that's all I would say. But yeah, there you go. First 10 of the year. And I'm hoping for its sake that it doesn't fall victim to recency bias when we're giving out the gongs at the end of the year. It won't on this show. You heard it here. Scott says it's his game of the year so far. We shall see. But yeah, going to move things on, Scott, because we've still got to keep this train moving here. There's a few games that aren't yet out officially.
Ooh.
I want to touch on. I would say I am playing one Redacted that you'll hear about next week. There's a few Redacted there actually between us, but I'm playing one and I should be able to talk about that next week. But as I mentioned last week, Steam Next Fest has been going on in the background there. It's our first one. I don't know if you've had the time to check out some other wee bits and bobs on there, Scott. But
no.
You've been in Resiland.
I've got loads of stuff fucking downloaded, but I just haven't played anything, so...
Aye, it's Scott's been fighting the good fight, bringing us that sweet, juicy Resident Evil Requiem news, and it's worth it for the 10. He lives for the 10.
I live for the 10.
For me, it's been quite literally a mixed bag. So I've just got some quick updates on ones that I managed to get time with, right? And I gave a good playthrough over the weekend there. First one up, and I've seen a lot of buzz on this online, is actually Titanium Co-op. Which is a very weird ass strategy game of sorts. I think very old school pixel graphics and a whimsical, bordering on nonsensical setting. Felt like a total fever dream of a game, if I'm honest. Just basically sitting there arranging terrains for war in a very simple grid structure, and you're arranging that during low tide, and then in between it you're talking to salesmen, dragons and wormholes, and basically you then go to war and then see if you can knock out the opposing forces. It was very fucking addictive and I couldn't stop, Scott. It was the oddest thing, and I've probably done a very bad job of describing it, but it's definitely one that I think should be in people's radars. Like the music as well, it kind of had that same vibe that you got from playing Hotline Miami for the first time, but it's totally different genre-wise, but it was just very surreal and strange, but very compelling.
It's funny you should mention it, because I tried to get that on Fantasy Critic this year.
Did you?
And was outbid for it, because that is up for, I believe it's up for an award last year because of games that were releasing. So I heard about it, but it looked cool. I've been keen to try it out, so I'll maybe go and have a look at it.
You should. The demo's fun. I mean, it's like a drug. I think it might be a bit too weird for most people, if I'm honest, but it does have a very addictive quality, and yeah, worth keeping an eye on. But it's pretty front and centre of the Steam Next Fest, so you'll see it. Yeah. Other one I had tried out was a wee one called Tap Tap Loot. Does what it says in the tin. Tap tap and you loot. It's like a little desktop game. You basically tapped and progress to see the next enemy or piece of loot, and you're playing as a wee cat. And I don't know, it kind of felt like an evolution for like that Google Chrome offline dinosaur game. Instead of tapping to jump, you're just moving forward and attacking. But simple, fun little desktop game. I think it'd be good if you had like a, I don't know, not condone this, like a work PC or something like that you might want to install it on just to pass the time. But it's for like a little time bomb. It's not going to win many awards, I don't think, but it was like one of my favourite ones here now. We're ramping up here. But I checked out Dead as Disco, which fucking incredible, Scott. Just think Batman Arkham Combat Revolution. Good.
I've seen it.
Good Lord, Scott. It's a sensationally good rhythm 'em up. It's like John Slick, Beatman, whatever you want to call it. You're basically timing funky martial arts moves to the beat, and you're doing counters and you're doing finishers and waves playing as Charlie Disco, and it just oozes a style. It's just a fucking sensational time, man. Like, you could play this game endlessly, and the tunes were just so good. Some of them you know, some of them you won't, but it's been wish listed. It's so fucking good. Like, if you get a chance to play it, man.
Can you do custom songs?
Pass. I'm not sure. You probably can, but I think
because I've seen clips online of people playing it. It always shows up on like fucking Instagram reels and stuff. It's people doing it like Rasputin by Boney M. I'm like, ooh.
It's just, I don't know what it's got the sauce. There's been a lot of talk online about the sauce of lately, right? This game has it. And it's not like the ones I played last week where I was like, man, they could use a little bit more polish. This one felt a little bit more finished off, which is good. I'll move on to the next one here though, which is a wee game called Wielders of the Essence, which is described on its page as an incremental survivors-like. Like any of these survivors games, it takes a wee while to get going. Like this one, at first I was thinking, I'm not too sure. But in the end, it had its hooks in me. It was a lot of fun and so satisfying, and I just felt myself getting lulled on, and that one more go nature of it was here in spades. And the music, again, was impeccable. Very, very impressed in the end. It's definitely one for Alex. He's probably already got it in his radar, probably already rattling through it. But yeah, it's definitely one I'd recommend, Scott. Which leads me to the last one, and this flyby tour of my Steam Next Fest experience, which is, of course, Vampire Crawlers. There's probably the headline act, I suppose, in this. What can I say? I liked it. I did like it. But if I'm being perfectly honest, it just made me want to go play Vampire Survivors, which I ended up doing.
Good. That's exactly what happened to me as well when I played it. I was just looking at my Steam library to see if I actually did play, and I played two. One was Vampire Crawlers, and I didn't enjoy it as much to say as I like it. I think it's a completely throwaway experience that ruins what I liked about Vampire Survivors in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it is very much like putting you in the shoes of yourself in that experience, but it's a lot more slower, card-based, I suppose. It does what it says in the tin, but I think it lacks that sense of urgency and progression from what I played on it. Yeah. It's what you did with the Vampire Survivors, but it did get me back playing Vampire Survivors, which is probably not a good thing. But yeah, that was kind of everything from Steam Next Fest. The only other thing I had on my list this week was Neo 3, really. Like
before you go into Neo 3, let me just talk quickly about one of the demos that I played, because I forgot to mention it.
Please do.
It's a game called Sugar Shatter. Sugar is in the condiment, and shatter is in what you could do to glass. But it is it's a fighting game.
Right.
It's a fighting game with the sort of like, blocks. What's that fucking that game? Centipede, not centipede. What's the thing where you go with the ball and it bounces and shit? What do you call that?
Pong.
No, it's not Pong. The one that you break blocks, block breaker, whatever shit it is, right?
Uh-huh.
But basically what it is you've got two characters and there's a ball, and the fighting game is that you can attack each other, so you can hit each other and you can sort of you can, like, what's the word? Stun each other when you hit them. But basically what you're trying to do is knock the ball up in the air to break these blocks, and every time you break one, you get a point. And that's basically what it is. It's like competitions, like a World Cup tournament thing. And it's great. It's absolutely fucking phenomenal. Enjoyed my time with it. Wishlisted as well. I think it'll be a fun wee game to play. Kind of big regret is that it's not, I can't play multiplayer on my Steam Deck. But, it's maybe something to keep an eye on. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, listen, there was an overwhelming amount. I think I just went down the curated route. I thought, let's try and be edgy and that, but there's people giving good shouts on Blue Sky. Steam itself did a good shout at putting the ones in the front center, because there obviously there's an algorithm at play. So I decided to just kind of take it that route, because I don't have the time to just sit there and play everything. But the ones that I picked, I was happy with, and I enjoyed my first Steam Next Fest. I did. Will I get tickets for the next one? We'll find out probably, based on what I did there. But it was a good laugh, and again, it's just our worlds have been opened up, Scott. We might as well just kind of go on and enjoy it. I did, though, as I mentioned, go back and play Neo 3. We did have a cracking co-op session, and it's just kind of been my home base over the weekend. Just now I'm free to explore another world segment again, and just it definitely gets into its stride, I feel, after that first open world segment, like the first proper one, because it just feels like you're empowered and enabled to go so much, whereas the first one was very much funneling you to that first boss, which is, I think, would have been the demo section anyway. From what we had, I didn't touch the demo, I downloaded it and never played it, but yeah, it's been good. But with the good comes the bad, Scott, and there was I want to move on to a little bit of news that we had this week. Yeah, which is a little game called Highguard, which unfortunately they announced that it's going to shut down on the 12th of March And, you know, I hate to say it, but I spookily called this right down the middle a few weeks ago on our episode when we were talking about our impressions of Highguard. And I said it lasts about 6 weeks tops. But paraphrasing slightly, but I gave it specifically 6 weeks, and here we are. It's you know, the new in a long line of Concords. And yeah, the reason I've wanted to talk about that is just to touch upon a couple of thoughts there. First off, being I feel that we have to have a slight discussion about the likes of your Jeff Keighley's Game Awards and the general hype cycle leading up to that game. It played a small part, I think, because either it set it up to fail with people wanting it to fail, or it just kind of set a bar too high. I got a feel for all the developers in there. But there's another side of it, Scott, and we were talking about this when the news broke. In regards to just how fucking difficult it is to just kind of get these type of games over the line, and no matter how good sentiment is and all that, and it's not about a case of like, all right, games as a service is dead, games as a service is bad. I think the problem is just very much there's a high quantity of them, and we're not seeing a lot of quality in that space, which is why a lot of them are just getting shut down. It's brutal, but you know, I think them's at the breaks. You know, the game just wasn't good enough to survive. Like, and I take no pleasure in saying that.
I think that's the problem with it. I said this to you. I don't subscribe to the belief that games as a service is necessarily a fucking bad thing, because it works for the games that it works for. Do you know what I mean? Obviously that bracket of people, what we'll call them is fucking losers, are, you know, it works for them because they have fucking nothing else to do with their life, so they can just sit and waste it on fucking shite and don't see any fucking use for it. Do you know what I mean? Arc Raiders. You know what I mean? Let's go and find Wire. But it's just like, you know, the thing is, like, obviously the elephant in the room is that you've got fucking Marathon coming out. You know, by the time this podcast drops, Marathon will be here, right? Lofty predictions. Is it Marathon? Is it going to do well? Is it going to do badly? Fuck knows, right? Fuck knows. Bungie are big enough that they have an audience that they will pull it from somewhere. You know, the team that made Highguard fell at the first post because of fucking Jeff Keighley. Now, you're being diplomatic about it, but he fucked them, Liam. He fucked Highguard. Do you know what I mean? Like, that game was dead in the water the moment he fucking came out.
Well, there goes the invite to the game.
Listen, he has to be ready to put his fucking arse in the line for it, because
he does.
Listen, you can't come out and be like fucking, oh, you'll all say sorry and whatever it is, blah blah blah. It's like, mate,
well,
you put them in this position?
May I interject here, sir? Right? May I interject? Because you're right. You can't put out that meme, that GIF of John Hammond from Jurassic Park saying in 48 hours I'll be accepting your apologies. No, sir. We are here 6 weeks later waiting on said apologies. Sorry, Scott, but I am upped at how dare he take the greatest movie of all time and wield it so irresponsibly.
What we have here is a failure to communicate, Liam. It's egregious. That man has fucking, you know, I want to be all happy, clappy, and nice to all. Well, but listen, he's got fucking blood in his hands. And as I said in the post on Blue Sky, I'll look forward to his, you know, grovelling apology at the Summer Games Fest. I'll look forward to hearing about how he dodges that question. But it's as I say, I don't subscribe to the fact that games as a service is bad, because it does work for certain games. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are successful with games. See Arc Raiders, right? That game's fucking shite, but people play it and people love it. Now, with Marathon, it might find a fan base. Is it going to find a fan base that's going to last for a long time? Who knows? Is the price point for it low enough? I don't know. I'm not going to buy it. I don't care, because I don't have time to play it. But there are some, as I said, losers out there that will. They'll have time to play it and they'll want to do it. But it's just, I hate this stigma that's attached to it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, where's the stigma to fucking Metroidvanias? There's about fucking 15 million Metroidvanias every single week. Where's the stigma to JRPGs? Where's the stigma to Souls-likes? It's just, we can't set these games up for failure every single time, because that's what's making them fucking fail, is that people just, I know it's not what people like, but some people do. Do you know what I mean? It's just preference, and it's so frustrating. Now, I am not the target audience for these games, as I said, but it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean,
with Highguard, the problem with Highguard, Liam, was that it was shite as well. Like,
it just wasn't good.
Forgive me, developers and people that made that game, but it was fucking pish. Like, having to playing that game for 10 minutes, I knew it wasn't good. Playing one round of that game for half an hour of your day, no chance. Absolutely fucking no chance.
Yeah.
You get through your 3 rounds of building a base and all that nonsense, and then the game resets because you haven't destroyed it. It's like, fucking hell, just end. It's like playing Valorant. The game never fucking stops.
It's like playing Battlefield.
It's like playing. Well, Battlefield's good though, but it's just, I feel bad for the people that made Highguard, because obviously it was a passion project for them, and they wanted to put the time and love into it. They had their own thoughts. If it was going to drop a shadow drop for it, would that have been more successful? What's the word? I don't know, but it didn't happen like that. Jeff Keighley came out, spoke about it at the end of the fucking Game Awards, and here we are now. You know what I mean? So, as I say, I'll be looking forward to my harshly written letter from Jeff Keighley for defamation, and I will. Yeah, I guess all to answer for.
I think that's probably something, and I'm very, very cautiously wading into this pool, Scott, because there's almost like unspoken rules, I think, particularly within our space here, that we play a very microscopic role in, which is content creation, games media, however you might put it. But I'm finding the silence a little bit deafening from larger creators to call out Jeff Keighley on this and to not talk about his part in it, particularly with the size of his audience, and posting things like that are quite antagonistic, setting the standards so high for this, backing it, whether that's to him feeling bad about the reception to it being the last game at the Game Awards, we'll never know, but it's an irresponsible use of your platform when the product just could never, ever have a chance of meeting that standard. And I think, as I said on Blue Sky myself, that this has to serve as a cautionary tale when it comes to video games marketing, but influencer marketing, but also the role of the content creators and figures within that. And there are larger figures that aren't talking about this, who would be the first to call out any bullshit that you see in the industry, the first, dare I say, despite positive intent, to cause a dog pile on people that might be doing or saying up to, wretched villainy within the space. And this is just, granted, it might just be more an act of stupidity or naivety instead of villainy. But with Jeff Keighley, I think he has to think on a bit. And the fact that I felt that he had a bit of a gall just to kind of put it out that it's closing. It's like, mate, I wouldn't have said a fucking thing, honestly, because he's inviting the heat. But unfortunately, in this economy of internet negativity, can pay the bills. And I shouldn't feel nervous about saying that, but I slightly do. But I know that we're about almost an hour into the show, so the only real ones are hearing this just now. But
I just call people who play games losers. So
yeah, I'm like the evolution of that. I'm like King Loser. It's like you get slow bros looking. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. And look, I also had the time to dive into Marathon. I played it on the PlayStation 5, the Server Slam, which is a stupid wank name for a beta. And you've got the PS5. I also fired it up on the ROG as well, tweaked to a few of the settings, could play it. And I'm worried about Bungie, because that game was just meh. Again, the same sensation I got when I had played Highguard. I'm just like, I'm bored. And granted, I might not be the target audience, but you know what? I know a thing or two about when a game is good and when it's not, and these things lack the addictive quality. It does have that trademark gunplay, pretty flawless from Bungie, but it's just what you're doing. It's just boring. And then on top of that, you've got an art style, which, in all God's honesty, right, it's a subjective thing. But for me, it's fucking horrendous. Like, that might be one of the most ugly ass art styles I've ever seen in a game. It's shocking. It should be banned. And it's only designed for nausea. That's how I feel about it, Scott. It is total visual diarrhea. But I'm like, it's confirmed to me I'm not the extraction shooter guy, right? Which is fair enough, right? It's fair enough. But for me, I am worried. I do forecast my next prediction here is that you will see Marathon come and go, and then the big story is going to be how Destiny 2 has more concurrence than Marathon at some point in the first few weeks of release, and you're going to see the drop-off, and you're going to see it's not sticky. And even though it has a £35 price point, I would not be surprised if it does a Concord after a few months and Bungie get a little bit longer grace. And then over time, we all know what happens because Sony have been making some fucking wild decisions of late and nothing's off the table. We're in an era of consolidation, I fear, and we're feeling the after effects of this, all the chips on the table going towards these games as a service. And each one that's coming out is just failing because the quality ain't there. And yeah, I'm very worried about Bungie. I hope to God that I'm wrong because I adore Bungie, but I didn't know what they're doing. But yeah, it is what it is. But regardless, we're going to be hearing nothing but silence on Jeff Keighley's part about it, I'd imagine anyway. But Scott, I think we might have had some technical difficulties. I don't know if you're on mute. But if he is, I'm just going to keep things going. I think he's having some problems with his microphone, but yeah, I don't know what you're thinking, listeners, viewers. If you've got something there, and what I want to know what your 2 cents are. Do you think that Bungie are in trouble? Did you think Highguard was treated unfairly? Did it ever have a chance? Who knows? We'll get to that. What we're going to do is we're just going to have a brief break through the magic of technology, and we'll be right back in a wee moment. Okay, right, we got that sorted. Little technical glitch out the road, Scott. We lost you for a wee second there. I was having a rant about Marathon, but we could still see your face chuckling along, agreeing with everything that I said. I'm sure you were saying, like, yes, you're absolutely correct, and he must pay his price. Must pay the price. But I think to circle back around to finish the point, right? I think ultimately with this games as a service stuff, I'm with you, right? They're aiming for a demographic that's too old to sink time into it, and the younger folk, they're on like Roblox and Fortnite, etc. Which I don't know how you fix that one, but what it does do is it let me segue into our main topic, Scott. And this was something that I've been thinking about for about a week, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But really, the main topic this week, Scott, is simply titled "I'll Be Too Old for Gaming." We're gamers with kids, but as a beloved hobby, just been seen as something just for the youngsters. Now, where did I get the inspiration for this, Scott, right? Besides being an old bastard. I was sitting just simply talking in work with one of the younger colleagues who had mentioned that gaming was an ick. And I'm like, oh dear. Oh dear, just a walking, talking ick. That's what I am. That's a word that should be banned in itself. I think the word ick is an ick. But yeah, it made me think, just like, is it because we're old? It's because we're too old? Is this something that's seen as just for the wains? Are we the generation that should challenge this notion, Scott? But broad strokes, because we've got lots of little different beats in here, but do you think that we're too old for the gaming?
Depends on the games. Surely, you know what I mean? If we're saying that we're too old for games as a service, there are evidently games that are for us. Do you know? Resident Evil 9 Requiem, for example, for fucking us. There are definitely games out there that are for people of certain ages. You're talking about Fortnite and Roblox for the kids. I mean, there's definitely going to be some fucking, I don't want to say the word again, but some fucking people that are playing Fortnite and Roblox at an older age. But listen, I'm not here to judge on that. Hey, play what you want. I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying my hardest not to fucking full heel turn here, but nah. Well, no, of course we're not too old for games. If I can play more games than ever before, kiss my ass.
It's true. I'm with you, man. Like, it's something I find quite preposterous, but it's something that I feel when you're outside the company of people who aren't gamers, it's very much, I dare say, almost frowned upon. It's that feeling of confusion, of sorrow, of, like a little bit like, ugh. And it's just like, no, like, we it's just a hobby that we enjoy in the company of our own home, and we're very passionate about it. And there could be people out there that haven't touched the game since PlayStation 2, and they're probably just thinking that's just full of stuff for the wains because they've only got a touch point to it when they were a child or teenager or whatnot. And I'd hopefully, we spoke about it in an episode about 100 odd episodes ago. I can say that now, right? But we were talking about, like, do we see ourselves still gaming when we're older? And the answer was, of course, yes. Like, as long as we're able to, it's something that we'll enjoy. And I think for me, it was, we're in that special place that we are the generations to challenge us, Scott, because we've grown up through it and it's been a part of our lives, which wasn't really the case for generations previous. And you're going to have to go back a few. Not that they didn't have video games, but they were a lot more ubiquitous when we were growing up as opposed to beforehand. And, how old is too old? Whenever you want to call time on it. But I think to each to their own. I just feel a little bit sorry for us gamers. And I think there might be a lot of fellow adult gamers out there that might share that kind of feeling of the stigma attached to, is it something that you kind of admit and admittedly almost guard yourself from telling people about if you're out and about, say, in a workplace environment?
Oh, well, I thought you were saying that. Like,
question mark.
Question to the viewers. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example actually from this morning. I was listening to music from the Undertale soundtrack, and randomly some guy just came up to me that I work with and was like, "What are you listening to?" And I was like, "Shite, mate." That was just like, pure, like, I don't want to admit to you that I'm listening to fucking weird music from fucking Undertale, because then they say, "What's Undertale?" And then I need to try to explain all that pish to them. It's like, sometimes it's easier just to go, "Shite, man," like, or just fucking video game music. It's like, I could be listening to, the Donkey Kong rap.
Yeah.
It's just, could be listening at the end at that point. But no, there's a certain shame attached to it, and a secret shame in some spaces.
Eating flowers. No, I'm glad to hear you say it, because it's like I'm definitely guilty of doing it, and it's something that I feel that I need to voice a bit more and own, flip the judgment, because I could work with people older than I, Scott, right? Keep the jokes to one side. And it's of a certain generation where it's just like, really? You're into that stuff? That's fucking stupid, that is, and all the rest of it. They won't get it, because it's like, I'm not of the generation where, I'm sorry, like, again, no judgment, but there's more to hobby, the menu of hobbies, than playing golf, pub, bottle of wine, all things in between. There's more options out there, or even climbing a tinto or whatever it is, right? But each to your own. But you can go forth and do all that, and there'd be no question. And I do find myself going quite quiet on it. It's like, what are you doing this weekend? It's like, I'm fucking rattling Neo 3 as soon as I get a moment's peace. It's like, I might just chill out. And to be fair, I'm quite fortunate that my colleagues in my current workplace know that I am a gamer. They know about the podcast, and I joke that despite the young colleague that has inspired the topic today, it was all in jest, of course, and I'll get to why in a moment. But in past workplaces, definitely something that I would shield more over. And I think, being an old dad, I learned to take myself not too seriously, because it's like, listen, man, I'm a spent force. Like, all my life essence is gone. You know what I mean? I'm on the downward slope at this point, and I'm only fucking 36 years old. But I'm like, it's all my energy's gone into those Rugrats, and that's it. Anything else I'll do, and it keeps me sane. I'm happy, and hey ho, like, I don't care. My wife still likes me. I'm led to believe. She still likes me. And that's fine. As long as I'm cool in all those people's eyes, then that's fine. I don't need to be cool in anybody else's eyes. I don't need to, act it, which is, I suppose, has helped me in the current workplace. But in the past, I would just be like, I like music or something like that, but they won't know the real nerd hiding behind it all. And that whole kind of, I feel like it does lean into your toxic elements of even masculinity and stuff like that as well. And there's so much things to pick apart within it. But I think for me, with the social approach that I take with non-gamers is to just be quite guarded and keep quiet. And I do wonder what our kids will think growing up being in a gamer household, because we've totally normalised it.
Yeah.
And I hope to God that they see the benefits of it, which is, well, you know what? Mum, Dad was a gamer and they were always home. I see that as a plus size. I mean, take it from me, like,
Did you say a plus size?
No, a plus side, sorry, I meant to say plus size. Christ. It's getting late, Scott. You know what it's like. When it gets late, Liam forgets how to talk.
I was going to say, that's a weird comment to make.
No, but it's a plus side, though, because it's like, do you know what? Our hobby's always here. You're always under the one roof. If shit hits the fan, I just press pause and I'm straight back into it. But
yeah.
Do you want me to tell you where the inspiration had come from? Like, as I was saying, talking to the colleagues about it, and they said it was a nick, and it was because the topic of Grand Theft Auto 6 had come up. And again, you can mention that game to non-gamers and they're with you. You know, it's like same wavelength. Oh, Vice City, all the rest of it. They know it, they get it. And I was just mentioning, it's like, man, tempted just to take a holiday for that, because obviously we've got this show and there's some good opportunities there for us to create some coverage and content and talk about it when it releases, whenever that, well, how long ago that is, it's in November or something. And that was like, that's a nick. I'm like, how dare they? But then I did have to do the old dad thing. I was like, well, what if I had taken time off to go to a concert? What if I'd taken time off to go out on a boozy weekend? What if I'd taken time off to just do any of these other things, to go watch the golf or whatnot, not batting an eyelid? But with this, something that's like, all I'm doing is minding my own business and enjoying the hobby in the way that I see fit, doing something that I can't do, which is actually have a day of freedom to play something I've waited 14 years on. Why should thou be judged, Scott? That's the question.
Good grief.
I know.
He's turning into fucking Shakespeare over
here. I'm getting Shakespearean in there.
Shakespearean on us, aye. Listen, fucking take the time off for it. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, at the end of the day, right? I know in jest it is a joke, but ultimately, take fucking time off for whatever you want to fucking take time off for. Why would take time off to go and to do anything? You know what I mean? I took a day off when I was like a youngling. I used to work for student loans, and I took a day off just because I couldn't be arsed. Like, I was just like,
well, the best days.
Not even just to play games. I was just like, I just don't want to anymore. I just want to have a day to myself. And that's exactly what I did. And it was great. And that's exactly what you need to do. As adults, Liam, we do not have that time to throw away now. Do you know what I mean? The limited time that we get to play games is nearly enough to satiate. But for a game like Grand Theft Auto, the time that's taken for this game to come out, fucking take the time off. Do you know what I mean? There's no shame in it.
I hope to. I plan to.
The only shame that we should have in video games, and being an older person who enjoys video games, is when you start fucking making it your whole personality. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's you know who they are. You know, like you see them and you're like, oh god, like, you know what I mean? Like, rein it in a wee bit, you know. But listen, I'm all for fucking gaming t-shirts. I have many of them, and I enjoy wearing them.
A class.
But you know, when you start having people who carry satchels with, you know, video game paraphernalia on it, you know, somebody who's wearing an N7 jacket, it's like, come on now, let's grow up. Let's grow up a tiny bit.
I would totally have that.
You would, and
I would be too feared to wear it outside because of what we're talking about.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that there's a time and a place for it. You know what I mean? Like, cool. you know your audience for it. And I think that's the thing. if you are going to go whole hog, you know, if you're going to dress up like fucking Master Chief every day and go to work, you need to be prepared for the consequences of what that's going to cause. You know, people in work are going to laugh at you. People in work are going to ask questions. Why the hell are you dressed like a big fucking weirdo? You know, why have you got orange face coverings? But it's just one of those things where, as we've grown up, Liam, we've just had to get used to it. It's just, and that's just reality. You know what I mean?
You do get like it's becoming slightly normalized. I mean, thanks to the likes of TV, you know, whether it's Fallout, The Last of Us, or some terrible God of War looking thing. It's like these are all things that are normalizing it within the pantheon of you know, what's acceptable or not within fellow adults. But I mean, I'm like, you know, each to their own. Because I think it's great for people to have any hobby, you know, whatever keeps you sane, because life can be tough, and I think that's the most important thing. Some people, it could be the gym, it could be, let's just playing golf, could be going out getting wrecked at the weekend, or maybe doing that in a wee bit, just don't damage yourself. It could be, you know, hair and beauty, it could be cooking, whatever the fuck it is. I've been cursed with the joy of gaming, which is what it is. Could be a season ticket, you know what I mean? I was like, Christ, if the amount of money that you spend on games, you might as well get a fucking season ticket sometimes, but at the same time, I am in control, as opposed to watching a pile of shite on the field every week, you know, and it's frustrating. I would hate that feeling, but I think it's each to their own, and that's when it comes circling back to the question is like, are we too old for it? And I really don't think we are, and nor will I ever be, because what is acceptable at the end of the day? You know, we're hardly sitting doing damage to ourselves or our loved ones. We could be doing something much worse. We're not absent, we're present, and it's not something that we ever do, despite that eternal feeling of wanting to sometimes. Like, it's not something that you do when you've got more important shit to, because you do get days when you wake up and say, I can't be arsed, I wish I could just sit in my pants and play whatever game it is. I'm sure like with Resident Evil, you're like, oh God, I'd fucking love to just sit there all day and play it.
Correct.
But obviously you can't, you've got stuff to do, but that's what keeps you going. And even for that, we could be half an hour, could be 3 hours, could be whatever it is. You know, you could sabotage your own sleep, as we all often do as gamers. And do you know what? I bet it's fucking brilliant, because you were just building up to it the whole day.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps us coming back time and again. And I love that. And despite the fact that, I am in my 30s, we're both in our 30s now, people that are in their 40s, 50s, whatever, and they experience that time over, and it's just class. Like, it is absolutely class. So
it is. So I'm going to derail this for a few minutes, Liam, right?
Please do.
You obviously speaking about how this was an ick, right? If you had to be on the spot asked, what is your gaming ick, what would it be?
Oh God, Scott, you've got your revenge on me, sir, because I'm usually the one that asks the big questions. What is my gaming ick? I think it might be what you had mentioned, which is the OTT personality projection that you would get a lot on Twitter. I see it scaled down a lot on Blue Sky, because I think it's just because you've got a chance to rehash. So the people that you connect with in Blue Sky are really passionate gamers, but they're talking about, man, I really fucking love playing this game. Whereas you get other people, and it's just kind of like, you know, oh look, I bought a new mouse, but I'm going to now make this into how I'm hunting a platinum and all that, and everything comes back to it, and they're just constantly engagement baiting. And there was one in particular that comes to mind that used to fucking drive me insane. And it was just like, that gives me the ick, because I'm like, there has to be more to life than this, son. Like, surely. And I use the word son because it's like, come on, son, let's get out of this ickiness. But I mean, again, to each their own. Like, I mean, we're all cringe to somebody at some point, and that's the thing. Like, I do hate that term, ick. I really fucking do. It's like, is it not some mad fish disease? I can't remember.
Fuck, I don't know.
Sure it is.
Jesus Christ, I don't know the origins of ick, but
it's just the general colloquialisms that we have now that have kind of filtered their way down from reality TV are absolutely diabasterous, to be honest with you. They really are. Like, we have lost the art of description and everything is just fucking some weird buzzword. So yeah, to answer your question, that's that. What's yours, Scott? What's your ick?
I have two, Liam. So I'm glad you asked. This was just a vehicle for me to fucking spout. But my first one is people who pretend that they don't care about Grand Theft Auto. Like, there seems to be a market for people who are like, yeah, I don't care about Grand Theft Auto. Never have. Geese fucking peace, mate. Biggest video game on the planet. You know what I mean? Like,
God.
But apart from that, my probably my biggest ick is ride or die console war people in the year 2026. Like, people who are fucking, sailing on that wave for Xbox, even now. People who are fucking ride or die for PlayStation, even now. It's like, listen, these companies don't fucking owe you anything. They don't care about anything that you've done. You have 1 million platinums on that console. Now what? Where's your fucking personally handwritten letter from Herman Hulst thanking you for your time spent on PlayStation? It doesn't fucking exist, Liam. It's just the fact that we still live in a universe where people do have this affiliation with this love, this need to constantly be fucking ride or die for their console of choice is, to use a word that you just said, diabastardous. It is fucking ridiculous. And yeah, it is outrageous. When I see people posting about it online, it's like, you really, 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 really need to think before you hit send on most of the things you post, and think about your life a wee bit more, because that's fucking embarrassing, mate. And there you go.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Scott's ick. Listen, again, it's just one of those things. Like, we're like the two fucking old Muppets here. We're too old for gaming.
What do you call them? Statler and Waldorf.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Pulled that from fucking nowhere, by the way. That was incredible.
The deepest fucking recesses of his arse. It's like, it is what it is. But I mean, I'm glad we've had a chance to talk about it in the show, because I think there'll be a lot of other gamers out there that would maybe feel the same way time to time. I think for me, it's about normalising it for the kids. It's already normal for them, and it's very much the done thing once things are done. It's part of a routine. It does come with the downside in the sense that they have what feels like an unlimited game collection.
Yeah.
Well, what the fucking bus here? I only got games twice a year, and all that patter comes out. But it's, it's for their own good, Scott. But yeah, I will never be too old for gaming. I dread to think the day. I'll be very sad. It will come at some point. Well, I'll not be too old, but the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And that comes to us all. But I'm a long way off that, and I can't wait to fucking sit and take holidays and play games and all the rest of it. That's in my sights, Scott. I hope that we can just have a celebration of GTA 6, because it's a moment. 14 years, man. Like,
listen, there's people pretending they don't care about it. Like,
yeah,
fuck them, man.
Scott's writing some big checks, big ass checks.
Listen, I think 100 episodes deep, Liam. Like, what's this episode? 101?
102.
102. This is the beginning of the end for me. I'm going on a tear for the next 4 months until my son is born, and then I'm going to disappear for a while and come back completely changed. But there's enough fucking shite that, listen, I just want to vent. I'm angry and annoyed at people, and this is my platform to tell people how fucking stupid they are. So there you go.
Indeed. But listen, look forward to that day. It's going to be hilarious when you do come back, because it's going to be we're going to be a step closer to GTA, and he's going to look very tired. But I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Put it that way, pleasantly surprised, Scott, because you've now got sage wisdom behind you. Never too old to benefit from that. But I digress. It's time for us to move on to the last segment of the show, which does mean that it's time for the Pixel Picks Showdown, where each week we each pick a game from our chosen theme and decide which one deserves to live on in the hallowed Pixel Picks list, which is our definitive list of the best games we recommend and pass on to the next generation of gamers. Now, last week's theme was the best game of the Phil Spencer era, with Psychonauts 2 becoming the latest addition to that list. And in this week's showdown, we're going to be debating the best game that aged like fine wine we think should feature on the Pixel Picks list. Now, as always, last week's winner goes last. Now, I should rephrase that to, as always, Liam goes last. So, let's get to it, Scott.
Absolute bitch. The wrong episode for that, Liam. The wrong fucking episode for that.
Okay. He's not coming to play.
Listen, low-hanging fruit
is
something I don't tend to go for, you know? It's not. I think that I like to go for the giraffe approach.
Mm-hmm.
The long neck, reach up into the heavens and grab whatever's there. You can even see my hand in the mirror. Ooh.
The Last of Us, just Scott's head poking through the
but no, not The Last of Us. How dare you? This was actually fairly easy once I looked at the list of them.
Okay.
A game that does not feature on the Pixel Picks list.
Is this just straight to your pick? No honourable mention?
No. They're both. Okay. Same approach for both. Neither feature on the list, which I'm shocked by because they're two of the greatest games ever made.
I think we might have the same pick, but on you go.
So my honourable mention for this week is a game that I actually only played fairly recently. And I'm maybe talking a couple of years ago now, but it has aged like a fine wine in itself, but it has also helped to create and further enhance one of the biggest gaming genres of all time as we sit here in 2026. And that game is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night. I said I said it weird.
No, I think you said it right.
Symphony of the Night. A fucking excellent experience. Alucard fucking showing up, and that game just unfolds like an onion, Liam. A Shrek game, you could call it. And it continued to peel away those layers, and yeah, you get to that gooey green goodness in the middle, and you're rewarded for your time with it. But the game that I picked for this week, I will be shocked if you have not picked it.
I think I might,
because you have not shut up talking about this game for about the past 3 weeks. A game that, I hated at first. Took me a long time to love it. So much so that it's now possibly one of my favourite genres of games of all time. And that game was the first to do it for me. And the game itself, Liam, is Dark Souls. Shocked that it has not hit the list at all. I think that says more about the games that come after because they are significantly better. But I think that we look back with a glint in our eye at Dark Souls. It done everything so perfectly. It does have its detractors, but you still see it trickle through into other games. Talking about games that I'm currently playing, redacted, very much so. But it's absolutely, a game that has aged like a fine wine. And with fine wines, you have vintage years, and then you also have, other variations of those vintages. And Dark Souls Remastered is there as well. So, I think that when you talk about games that have aged like a fine wine, Dark Souls is definitely up there as one of them. And I think that it deserves its place on the list as that.
Well, I was correct because I have that as my pick here as well for Dark Souls because you've nailed me. It's a game that I've been dabbling with again, and it has aged like a fine wine. It's still just so satisfying to play, and it still has all the right tension, the atmosphere, everything that would come to be with an Elden Ring, anything that's influenced the entire genre of this Soulsborne, however you might call it. A game that spawned 1,000 pretenders all started here. I mean, you could argue actually it was Demon Souls, to be fair, but I feel that Dark Souls is the one that went mega. You know what I mean? There are people that do like to pretend they were there when Demon Souls first came out. Don't talk a lot of pish because we see the sales figures. But yeah, Dark Souls was the one. Sorry, I need to slap that shit down. Sorry. You've got me in a tangent. It's about like listening to other podcasts, right? And I've got like younglings on there talking about how they love playing like Mario 64 as children. I was like, you were born fucking 10 years after the fucking thing came out. You'd be playing the PS2 or something. That's all pish. Anyway, I digress.
Oh, see what you've done.
That was cathartic. That
see
one.
What you've done to him, listeners.
Honestly,
you made him angry.
I'm a grumpy bear this weekend. This week's to say, but yeah, game that is like fine line, Dark Souls. But I'm going to just linger on the honourable mention because it nearly was my pick, and it was Batman Arkham City, which I again shocked that it's not on the list. But it's because we've got Batman Arkham Asylum. I know, Barkham, Jesus. I'm just going to call it that now. Barkham. You got Barkham on it instead. But to this day,
that'd be fucking so good. Dog Batman. Oh man, someone has to fucking make that shit.
Barkham City. There we go. A developer get in touch with us. But yeah, I think still right now, up to this day, from when it released in 2010, I think they both came out in the same year, Scott, or was it 2011? I can't remember. But you could give that game to anybody, and it's an immaculate Batman experience, incredible and as exciting as the day it released. Second only to the best superhero game on our list, which is Arkham Asylum, or Barkham Asylum. But yeah, Dark Souls, congratulations to Miyazaki. It's the best game that aged like fine wine. You're the latest addition to the Pixel Picks list. I wrote piss now. Jesus, I'm just dying. I'm dying on my arse. Oh, Jesus. See if I could be bothered, I would just superimpose the "you died" part over the top of me right there. Oh, God.
Pixel piss.
It is late,
God,
folks.
I actually
can't
handle this.
It is late, folks. I think I might have destroyed Scott. He's broken. He's a broken man. So am I. Just like my speech. But yeah, I'm going to give this one to Scott because he named it first.
Thank God.
So I'm just adding it now. It's official. It's like that bit of the Champions League final where you see the wee guy etching the name on the trophy. But there you go. Dark Souls. I can't believe that's taken so long to get that on the list.
It's because it's shite. Like,
he's a phony.
Let's be honest. Dark Souls is the worst of the Dark Souls franchise. Even
no,
2
but
is
a lot
better.
would argue.
Even 2 is better.
You know what I mean? I'd love to, but even now, actually, 3. I mean, 3's a good ass game. But,
stop maybe, before you even start.
Maybe the order's correct, Scott. Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Maybe
stop before you even start what you're trying to say here.
I'm speculating. You got to speculate to accumulate. That's
speculate speculate elsewhere. With that fucking nonsense. I wouldn't have Dark Souls 3 slander in this household.
I think I've actually bust a hole in my t-shirt since I've been talking here. But yeah,
fucking Gainesville, Tennessee over there.
It is all these gains. I just don't know what to do with it. Yeah, it's I can't believe it's taken that long, and I also can't believe, Scott, the next week will be entrant 95. We're getting ever closer to completing the 100. So join us on the journey, but alas, it does bring us to the end of this week's podcast. So please do. I would just want to say thank you once again for joining us. Remember to support small independent games made out there. If you like what you hear and enjoy the podcast, just share it on social media. Tell your pals about us. Leave a 5-star review. You know the drill. Whatever you do helps us out. Makes a huge difference. And remember, go join our free Patreon community at patreon.com/pixelparents where you can support the show. It's free and you'll get bonus shows for free as well, including the patch notes, which will be coming later on this month. Now, Scott, it's test time. Where can people find you if they want to discuss all things Resident Evil online on Blue Sky?
I will be the resident Games as a Service expert on Blue Sky at lamaman.bsky.social. Catch me on there with some breaking news.
I like that. Okay, he's teasing. Watch out, Jason Schreier. You can get me on Blue Sky at carmelite.bsky.social. And I will be there just shooting the breeze. That's all I'll be doing, just shooting the old breeze and trying my best to not rant about the state of the world today. You could also, I just want to give a big thank you to our producer, the music man, the talented and handsome Mr. Sean Murray. Just go show him some love. Check out his work on Instagram at barehandsdesigns and barehandsdesigns.com. And you can listen to the next episode on all major podcast platforms. Of course, follow us on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social or even write to us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. Wherever you are, like, share, follow us on YouTube, subscribe there, and play some damn games. But until next time, stay safe, stay sane. Thank you for listening.
Pixel piss.
Barkham City.
It's so good. So fucking good.